The reality TV world is in shock. Love and Hip Hop, once the undisputed king of drama-filled entertainment, is losing steam and fast. Fans are buzzing, insiders are whispering, and the numbers don't lie. The ratings have plummeted, leaving executives scrambling for answers. But there's one name that keeps surfacing in all the chaos: Kirk Frost. Could it be that his latest antics, scandals, and controversies are driving viewers away? Or is there something even bigger going on behind the scenes? Some say his drama with Rashida has become exhausting, while others believe he's pulling strings behind closed doors, creating tension within the cast. And now, rumors are swirling that producers are fed up and may be considering drastic changes. So what's really happening? Is Kirk the reason Love and Hip Hop is crashing? Or is he just the scapegoat for a much bigger problem? Buckle up, because we're about to break it all down, exposing the fights, the feuds, and the secrets no one saw coming. Keep watching, because this is one wild ride you don't want to miss. The drama surrounding Love and Hip Hop has never been as intense as it is right now. With the ratings of the show hitting an all-time low, everyone is scrambling to figure out what went wrong. Fans and insiders alike are pointing fingers, but there's one name that keeps coming up again and again: Kirk Frost. Could he be the reason for the show's decline? Is his presence doing more harm than good? And if so, what will happen next? It all began when the latest season of Love and Hip Hop premiered, and right from the start, the response was lukewarm at best. Fans weren't feeling the energy they once did. The excitement, the passion, the raw emotion that had made the show a hit seemed to be missing. Viewers took to social media in droves, complaining that the show had become predictable and stale. And it didn't take long for them to start zeroing in on Kirk Frost as the problem. Honestly, it's the same thing every season with Kirk. One Twitter user wrote, gaining thousands of retweets and likes: cheating scandals, Rashida crying, Kirk trying to explain himself. We've seen it all before. It's getting boring. Others chimed in, agreeing that Kirk's storyline had become tired and repetitive. Love and Hip Hop is supposed to be about new drama, new faces. But Kirk keeps dragging it down with the same old mess. Behind the scenes, things were even worse. Producers were reportedly pulling their hair out trying to figure out how to turn the season around. Tensions between the cast were at an all-time high, and the atmosphere on set had become toxic. Several insiders began leaking details about what was going on behind closed doors, and Kirk's name kept popping up in those conversations. He's causing more trouble than ever this season, an anonymous source from the production team said. He knows the fans aren't happy with him, and it's like he's trying to prove something. But it's backfiring. Apparently, Kirk had become difficult to work with in recent months. Cast members had grown frustrated with him, especially after a series of heated arguments during filming. According to several reports, Kirk wasn't willing to step back or let the spotlight shift to other characters. He wanted to stay at the center of the action, regardless of how it affected the show's overall dynamic. Carly Red was reportedly one of the first to call him out. Kirk needs to chill, she allegedly told other cast members during a break in filming. He's doing too much, and it's messing everything up. It's like he thinks he's bigger than the show, but he's not. Other cast members echoed her sentiments, with some even refusing to film scenes with Kirk because of the drama he was bringing to the set. Then came the moment that truly set everything off. It happened during the filming of an intense dinner party scene. The scene was supposed to be about Rashida and her latest business venture, but Kirk quickly derailed the conversation by making it all about himself. What followed was a full-blown shouting match between Kirk and several other cast members. Things escalated so quickly that the producers were forced to cut the cameras and intervene before the situation turned physical. The cast was furious. What should have been a simple, drama-free scene had turned into a disaster, and many were quick to blame Kirk. He just can't stay out of it, one cast member reportedly said after the altercation. It's like he thrives on this chaos, and the rest of us are just tired of it. But Kirk? He didn't seem to care. In fact, sources close to him say he's been telling people that he is the reason the show is still on the air. "They need me," he allegedly said in a recent conversation with a friend. "Without me, there's no show. All the other storylines are boring, and the producers know it. That's why they keep putting me front and center." However, it wasn't just the cast and crew who were fed up with Kirk. The fans were livid. Social media exploded after the dinner party fiasco, with viewers calling for Kirk to be removed from the show. #FireKirk started trending on Twitter, with thousands of fans joining the chorus demanding his departure. "He's ruining the show," one fan tweeted. "It's time for him to go. The ratings are down because of him, and if they don't do something soon, I'm done watching." Others expressed frustration that the show had become more about Kirk's personal drama than the ensemble cast that made it successful in the first place. The backlash was swift and unrelenting. Kirk tried to brush it off at first, going live on Instagram to address the situation. "You'll really think I'm the problem," he said, sounding both annoyed and defiant. "Nah, the problem is y'all want everything to stay the same, but when I bring that real drama, y'all can't handle it. I've been on this show since day one, and I'm still here for a reason. If you don't like it, that's on you." But his defiance only seemed to fuel the fire. Fans didn't take kindly to his attitude, and the #FireKirk continued to gain momentum. Some even started posting old clips of Kirk's most infamous moments on the show: his cheating scandal, the paternity test drama, his fights with Rashida, highlighting how little he had changed over the years. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse for Kirk, more leaks began to surface from the Love and Hip Hop set. According to these new reports, the producers were finally starting to have serious conversations about Kirk's future on the show. One source revealed that executives were worried that Kirk was hurting the show's brand, and they were considering cutting ties with him altogether. "They've been trying to make it work with Kirk for a long time," the source said. "But now, with the ratings tanking and the fans revolting, they might not have a choice. They need to shake things up, and Kirk might be the first one to go." But Kirk wasn't going down without a fight. In fact, sources close to him say he's been planning something big behind the scenes, something that could shake up the show in a way that no one expects. And if what he's planning actually happens, it could be the biggest scandal in Love and Hip Hop history. Kirk Frost knew the walls were closing in on him. The backlash was relentless, and the whispers of his potential firing were getting louder by the day. But if there was one thing Kirk had always been good at, it was survival. He wasn't about to let some Twitter hashtags and angry producers push him out of the empire he had helped build. So instead of backing down, Kirk started plotting. According to inside sources, he was working on a major power move, something that would force the producers to keep him on the show, whether they liked it or not. And it all started with a leaked conversation that sent shockwaves through the Love and Hip Hop community. Late one night, an anonymous audio recording surfaced online. The recording allegedly featured two high-ranking Love and Hip Hop producers discussing the future of the show, and in particular, the Kirk Frost problem. "We need a change," one voice said. "This season isn't hitting like we thought it would. The ratings keep dropping, and we're getting killed online. Kirk's just not bringing in viewers the way he used to." The second voice responded with something even more shocking. "I know, but firing him isn't that easy. He's got connections, and if we push him out the wrong way, he might take some things public that could hurt us. We need to handle this carefully." That single sentence set off a firestorm of speculation. What exactly did Kirk know? What kind of dirt did he have on the producers? And more importantly, was he really planning to use it against them? For Kirk, the timing of this leak couldn't have been better. Suddenly, the narrative started shifting. Instead of just being the villain of the show, he was now seen as someone who might be a victim of behind-the-scenes manipulation. Fans who had previously been calling for his firing were now demanding answers from the Love and Hip Hop executives. What's really going on behind the scenes? One tweet read, "If Kirk has receipts on the producers, we need to see them." Others speculated that the entire situation was being staged as a way to boost ratings. "Is this all just a setup for a bigger storyline?" a fan wrote. "Because if it is, it's working. I need to know what happens next." Meanwhile, Kirk was leaning all the way into the controversy. Instead of addressing the leaked recording directly, he started posting cryptic messages on Instagram that only fueled more speculation. "When you know too much, they try to silence you," he wrote in one post. "The truth always comes out," he posted in another. Fans were eating it up. Despite all the negativity surrounding him just days earlier, Kirk was now back at the center of attention, and he knew exactly how to use it to his advantage. But while Kirk was busy stirring the pot online, things behind the scenes were getting even messier. Reports began surfacing that other cast members were furious about Kirk's latest stunt. Many believed he was manipulating the situation to make himself look like a victim, when in reality, he was the one causing the most chaos. Kirk is playing the game, one insider revealed. He knows how to keep himself relevant, and right now, that means making himself look like the underdog. But the rest of the cast isn't buying it. One person in particular who wasn't falling for it: Rashida. For years, Rashida had stood by Kirk, defending him through all his scandals, betrayals, and controversies. But this time she was done. Sources close to Rashida say she was furious when she heard the leaked recording. Not because she believed Kirk was a victim, but because she knew he was playing a dangerous game. "I told him to stop this mess," she allegedly told a close friend. "I told him not to push it too far. But he just won't listen." And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, another bombshell dropped. A well-known celebrity gossip site published an explosive report claiming that Kirk had personally leaked the audio recording himself. "Kirk Frost is not a victim. He's the mastermind," the report stated. Sources say Kirk was the one who recorded that conversation and leaked it to the press. Why? Because he knew his time on the show was running out, and he needed a way to flip the script. And guess what? It worked. Fans were shocked. Had Kirk really set this entire thing up just to save himself? The internet exploded with reactions, with some calling him a genius strategist and others branding him a manipulative liar. "If Kirk really leaked that audio himself, then I gotta give him credit," one tweet read. "That man knows how to keep himself in the headlines." Others weren't as impressed. "This is pathetic," another fan wrote. "He's out here ruining the show just so he can stay relevant. Get him off my screen." The Love and Hip Hop producers, meanwhile, were in full-blown damage control mode. They knew they had to address the controversy before it spiraled out of control. So they did what reality TV producers do best. They turned it into a storyline. According to leaked production notes, the producers made a last-minute decision to bring the Kirk controversy onto the show itself. Instead of trying to sweep it under the rug, they decided to confront Kirk on camera, with Rashida leading the charge. "We need to address this head-on," one producer reportedly told the team. "If Kirk really leaked that recording, we're gonna make him answer for it. On camera." And just like that, the drama reached a whole new level. When the cameras started rolling for what was supposed to be a routine cast meeting, nobody was prepared for the storm that was about to hit. The producers had orchestrated the perfect setup, bringing Kirk and Rashida together in front of the entire Love and Hip Hop cast, with tensions already sky-high. This wasn't just about personal drama anymore. This was about business, survival, and betrayal. As soon as Kirk walked into the meeting, you could feel the tension in the air. The room was silent, every eye locked onto him. He had been at the center of controversy before, but this was different. Before Kirk could even take his seat, Rashida stood up. "So tell me something, Kirk," she said, her voice ice cold. "Did you really leak that audio?" Kirk froze. He had expected backlash, of course he had, but he hadn't expected Rashida to be the one leading the charge. "What? You really think I did that?" He scoffed, trying to keep his cool. Rashida laughed, but there was no humor in it. "I don't have to think, Kirk. I know you did it, and everybody else in this room knows it too." The cast exploded. Some people nodded in agreement, others just watched in stunned silence, waiting for what would happen next. "Come on, man," Scrappy finally said. "Just be real. Did you do it or not?" Kirk ran a hand over his face. He could feel the walls closing in. His plan had worked. He had forced the producers to keep him on the show. But now it was turning against him. "Y'all are crazy," he muttered. "Why the hell would I leak something like that? What would I even gain?" Rashida's eyes flashed. "Oh, I don't know, Kirk. Maybe you wanted to flip the script. Maybe you wanted to play the victim. Maybe you were scared of being kicked off the show, so you did whatever it took to stay relevant." Sound about right? A collective gasp rippled through the room. Kirk shot up from his seat. "You always do this, Rashida," he snapped. "Always trying to make me look like the bad guy. You think I'm the reason ratings are dropping? Please, you wouldn't even still be on this show if it wasn't for me." That was the wrong thing to say. Rashida slammed her hands on the table. "Are you serious right now? Are you really trying to take credit for my success? Because last time I checked, Kirk, all you've done is embarrass me for the past 10 years. The room was dead silent. The producers were loving this. This was exactly the kind of drama that would save the season. But Rashida wasn't finished. "You want to know why the ratings are dropping?" she continued, her voice shaking with anger. "It's because people are sick of seeing the same old mess. You cheating, you lying, you making excuses. It's tired, Kirk. It's played out. And honestly, I'm tired too." Kirk opened his mouth to respond, but Rashida cut him off. "I stood by you through everything. I defended you when people told me to leave. I gave you chance after chance, and you know what? I regret every single one of them." Another gasped from the cast. "Damn," Bambi whispered under her breath. Kirk's face hardened. He wasn't about to sit there and let Rashida tear him apart in front of everyone. "You want to talk about regrets?" he shot back. "Fine. Let's talk about how you wouldn't even be in the position you're in if it wasn't for me pushing you. Let's talk about how you used my name to build your career. Let's talk about how you're just as guilty as I am for everything that's happened." Now everyone was talking. "This is getting messy," Spice muttered. "It was already messy," Scrappy corrected her. But the real bombshell hadn't even dropped yet. Because just as things were reaching a boiling point, another producer stepped forward. "I think it's time we tell the truth," he said, his voice calm but firm. The room went dead silent again. Kirk turned, confused. "What the hell does that mean?" The producer took a deep breath. "It means you weren't the only one playing games, Kirk." The cast members exchanged looks. "What are you talking about?" Rashida asked. The producer hesitated, then dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. The audio leak wasn't the only thing that was staged. A lot of what's been happening this season, let's just say. The drama didn't come out of nowhere. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then, slowly, realization started setting in. "Wait a minute," Scrappy said, looking around. "Are you saying the producers have been setting Kirk up this whole time?" The producer didn't confirm or deny it. He just smiled, which said everything. And just like that, the entire cast exploded into chaos. "Oh, hell no," Rashida shouted. "This is crazy." Bambi added. Kirk, meanwhile, looked like he had just seen a ghost. "So wait," he said slowly, "y'all really been out here trying to turn me into the villain this whole time?" The producer shrugged. "Reality TV, Kirk, it's a business. You of all people should know that." That was the moment everything changed. Because suddenly, Kirk wasn't just a cheating, manipulative husband anymore. He was a pawn in a much bigger game. And now he was out for revenge. Kirk couldn't believe it. The producers had been playing him this whole time, setting him up as the villain, turning everyone, including Rashida, against him just to create drama for the show. A slow, cold realization settled over him. So all this time, y'all been feeding these lies to Rashida, setting me up to fail? His voice was low, dangerous. The producer just shrugged, his smug expression never faltering. "That's reality TV, Kirk. Somebody has to be the villain. And let's be honest, you made it pretty easy for us." The entire cast was frozen in shock. Even Rashida looked like she didn't know what to say. "You mean to tell me, all the fights, all the drama, the way y'all made me look like the worst husband alive, that was all a setup?" The producer chuckled. "Not all of it. Let's not forget, Kirk, you did cheat. More than once, actually." The cast gasped again. Kirk's jaw tightened. Yeah, I made mistakes, but y'all took my real life and turned it into a damn circus. You made sure nobody would ever look at me the same again. And for what? A few extra ratings? The producer side. A few extra ratings? Kirk, we kept this show alive because of you. Without the drama, nobody would be watching. You should be thanking us. And that was it. Kirk lost it. He lunged forward, his chair scraping against the floor. You think I should yank you? Security rushed in before he could get too close, pushing him back. Oh, now y'all want to stop something from happening. Kirk laughed bitterly. Y'all let my marriage fall apart on camera. Let me become the most hated man in reality TV. But the second I want to speak my truth, now Val got security. Scrappy, still in shock, finally spoke up. Man, this is some next-level dirty shit. Asterisk, you're telling me, Bambi mumbled. Rashida looked away, suddenly realizing the full picture. The producers had manipulated both of them. I can't believe this, she muttered under her breath. Kirk snapped his head towards her. Oh, now you can't believe it. Now that the truth is out. But when you were out here treating me like the worst man on earth, that was all fine, right? Rashida flinched. Kirk, nah. He cut her off. I get it. You ate up everything they told you and you ran with it. But let me ask you something, Rashida. What's the real reason you stayed on this show? 'Cause it sure as hell wasn't to fix our marriage. Another gasp. Rashida's eyes narrowed. You think I stayed for the check? Oh, I don't think I know, Kirk fired back. Let's be real. This show saved your career. Without Love and Hip Hop, who were you? You needed this just as much as I did. The room was dead silent. Then, for the first time ever, Rashida didn't argue. She just sat there, staring at Kirk, while the weight of everything hit her all at once. The ratings were dropping. The producers had been manipulating them. The show might not even survive the season. And now Kirk, her husband, the man she had spent years fighting with, was standing there, telling her the ugly truth she had refused to face. Tears welled up in her eyes. Kirk, I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know it was this deep. Kirk shook his head. Well, now you do. And now you gotta make a choice. You gonna keep letting these producers control your life? Or you gonna finally stand up for yourself? Everyone was watching her, waiting for her response. Finally, Rashida took a deep breath. Then she turned to the producer. Is it true? She asked, her voice shaking. Did y'all really set this up from the start? The producer just smirked. Rashida, sweetheart, this is entertainment. You're acting like you weren't in on the game. That was all she needed to hear. Rashida stood up, grabbed her purse, and without another word, walked out. Kirk watched her go, his expression unreadable. The rest of the cast sat there stunned. Damn, Scrappy finally said. So what happens now? Kirk exhaled slowly. Now I make sure they regret ever playing me. And with that, he walked out too. The producers panicked. This was not how things were supposed to go. They had expected drama, sure. Maybe even a little chaos. But this was the beginning of the end. Because within hours, news of the Love and Hip Hop scandal had leaked. The internet exploded. Social media was flooded with posts. Wait, so Kirk was actually set up by the producers. This show is faker than I thought. Damn, they really ruined that man's life for ratings. If Rashida and Kirk leave, is there even a show left? Ratings that had been plummeting suddenly spiked, but not in the way the network wanted. Now, people weren't tuning in for the drama. They were tuning in to see the downfall of Love and Hip Hop. And Kirk wasn't done yet. The very next day, he went live on Instagram. I kept my mouth shut for too long. But now I'm exposing everything. Y'all want to know the truth about Love and Hip Hop? Keep watching. Millions tuned in. The producers tried everything to stop him. They even threatened legal action, but Kirk didn't care anymore. He was done being their pawn. He was done being the villain. And now he was going to burn it all to the ground. And just like that, everything has changed. Kirk Frost isn't just fighting for his reputation anymore. He's fighting to expose the entire system. Love and Hip Hop built its empire on drama, betrayals, and reality TV. Chaos. But what happens when the truth comes out? Will Kirk's expose be the final nail in the coffin for Love and Hip Hop? Will Rashida stand by him, or will this tear them apart for good? And most importantly, can the show even survive after this massive scandal? Right now, the entire industry is watching. Fans are divided. Some say Kirk is just playing victim to cover his past mistakes, while others believe he's finally telling the truth. One thing's for sure, this is a mess that nobody saw coming. But what do you think? Is Kirk Frost really the reason for Love and Hip Hop's downfall, or was he set up all along? Should the show be canceled, or does it still have a future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is a conversation we need to have. And if you don't want to miss a single update on this crazy drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We'll be bringing you every juicy detail, every shocking twist, and every behind-the-scenes secret as it all unfolds. Trust me, this story is far from over. So stay locked in, and we'll see you in the next one.